comes out this weekend, starring Jack Huston, Toby Kebbell. The guy from Lost is playing Jesus Christ, and also Morgan Freeman. It's directed by Timur, last name. I don't know his last name, so I'm just gonna put his entire name down here, and it's just, yeah, that's his name. This movie is a re-adaptation, reimagining, reboot, re-something, following up a movie that was made in 1959, also called Ben-Hur. That movie was a classic, by the way. It won 11 Oscars. And it was a really big success, and people love that movie to this day. It's basically a story about two brothers, these two kids who grow up. In this movie, they're represented as brothers. One of them is a Roman, one of them is a Jew, and they're thick as thieves. Now, this is at the height of the Roman Empire, when there is a lot of tension between the Romans and the Jews. As they get older, something big happens that forces them to become enemies. The prince, he ends up losing everything, his family, his life, everything, and he sets off on a path of bloody revenge. I gotta be completely honest, guys, I had no idea that this movie was a thing. I had heard about this shit in my childhood, but I didn't really know anything about Ben-Hur. I haven't seen the other movie, so nothing I say in this review is gonna be based on prior knowledge or anything. I'm just gonna be judging this movie as itself. Somebody was asking me like, are you gonna go see that Ben-Hur movie? I said, Ben who? It was like, come on, Ben-Hur. And I'm just kind of like, dude, why are you saying Ben? Ben is clearly a guy's name, all right? There's no such thing as Ben-Hur. What are you talking about? Ben-Hur. It's a guy's name. Fuck you. Whatever, man. Let's just talk about this shit stain. There are some things to like about this movie, for sure. The performances in the movie are pretty good. The two leads in particular, Toby Kebbell and Jack Huston as Ben-Hur and his brother Marsala, I think is his name. They really do a good job in this movie of playing up the relationship between the brothers, of establishing that they do have a close bond, and also the conflict that leads to them becoming enemies. I like the way that it was presented in this movie. It presents it as kind of like an ambiguous thing where I could see both sides of the issue. I mean, yeah, for sure, one of them is a much bigger dick than the other one, but the other one, I can see his side too. I can see both sides. Both of them made mistakes in this situation. I'm just gonna say that. There are a couple of scenes of cool looking action and stuff. Chariot race at the end has a few moments where I'm just kind of like, solid. Anything else? Nope, nothing else. First, let me get this out of the way. Morgan Freeman. If you've seen the trailers and you see him with his dust mop dreadlocks, I just got one thing to say to Morgan Freeman for this movie. Moving on. I feel like this movie got out to a very slow start, you know, very weird, choppy pacing, a lot of boring moments mixed throughout some epic moments. Between the brothers, there's not a whole lot of emotional fallout between them like I wanted there to be. After this big thing that happens that causes them to become enemies, we never really get to see the emotional fallout of that decision for either brother. For the main hero in the movie, Ben-Hur, I mean, yeah, we get it. He wants revenge, and he comes back, and he spends 5 years on a slave ship. I liked the way it was presented, how it was like an ambiguous issue. This movie in the second half, it just took away the ambiguity of it, and they basically made it straight up revenge where one guy is clearly the bad guy. And that was kind of disappointing. I wanted to see Ben-Hur struggle a little bit more with some of his decisions that he made in this movie. The other brother, completely wasted in the second half of the movie, in my opinion. He doesn't really get a lot of attention. They don't really even focus on him, and I didn't really buy the conflict in him either. The entire second half of the movie, I'm just kind of sitting there like, you even give a fuck about these people? You don't really buy that this was a struggle for him. This is supposed to be like a really big dilemma, and you don't really buy that at all. Jesus is in the movie. Like I said, the guy from Lost plays Jesus in this movie, and he's fine. I mean, he doesn't really do much for me one way or the other. He's not bad, he's not good, he's just okay. But in general, the religious themes do kind of clash with the violence and the dark revenge theme of the movie. The religious stuff is supposed to make you care. It's supposed to get you emotionally invested, and it just doesn't really do that. The religion in the movie falls flat for me. And I'm just gonna say that the end of this movie is whoa. Look, you guys have probably heard the rumors about the end of this movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say that whatever goodwill this movie had before the end of this movie, I'm talking about after the chariot race, the ending of this movie, I was just kind of sitting there in my seat like, yeah, no, that's fucking, nope, that's bullshit. What? Because the ending just takes the rest of this movie, bends it over a barrel, pulls its pants down, and just bang, 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 bang. Oh, and one more thing, the chariot race, yeah, the CGI, it ruined the scene for me. There's actually some pretty shitty CGI placed throughout this movie, which is shocking for a movie that cost $100 million to make. You'd think they could afford some better effects like the CGI during the chariot scene. It looked like CGI from George Lucas' Phantom Menace 1999. That bad. Not the huge pile of horse shit that some people thought it would be, but it is a pretty bad shit stain. Again, it's not horrible, but I can't really recommend it. I'm gonna give it the rating of Smallville. Just Smallville. Hey Kryptonians, thank you for watching my review of Ben-Hur. Don't go see it. Most of you are going to follow that advice if you haven't already. Just don't go see it. Thank you guys so much. Comment, like, share. Let me know what your favorite religious big screen adaptation is. Passion of the Christ for this guy right here. As always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.